Hello everybody! Today I want to talk about a pseudo-impossible level I recently uploaded to Super Mario Maker 2 called Cybersecurity 101 Brute Force. So what is this level? Well, it's not just any normal Mario Maker level. This is both my easiest and hardest level yet. When you start off the level, the screen immediately turns dark, which is a result of using the Night Ghost House theme. The only option you have is to enter a door, which leads you to the first room. Once you exit the door, you are presented with 8 coin blocks that you can hit up to 9 times. Each block represents a single digit of an 8-digit number. Once you are done hitting each block, you continue to the next one by stepping on a winged platform that essentially confirms your input for that digit. The one-way gates prevent you from going back. This means the number can be anywhere from 000000000 to 999999999. Once you have made your selection for all 8 digits, you then hit the note block as a confirmation of your inputs. The block reveals a bomb that activates an on-off switch. Then, you wait to see if you put in the correct 8-digit number. If you are correct, a bomb will drop on the right side, blowing up the blocks and allowing you to move on. If you are incorrect, then this happens. You cannot move on to the next section until you input the correct 8-digit number. Well, at least you know that the number 90 million is not the correct number. And if you happen to guess the first number correctly, then you can move on to the next section, which is completely identical to the first section. The two numbers can be the same, but they are not necessarily the same number. So essentially, to beat the level, you must correctly guess 2 8-digit numbers. You actually have a better chance at winning the lottery than you do beating this level. This is actually my 3rd version of the level since I had to delete previous versions to prevent cheese, and you could actually see hints of the number itself. So how does this level work? In order to create a single digit with 10 possible outcomes, I used a block with multiple coins inside, POW blocks, a bullet bill launcher, and a platform. There are 9 POW blocks on top of the coin block, which represents the numbers 0 to 9. The player can hit the block a minimum of 0 times and a maximum of 9 times. The bullet bill launcher prevents any additional hits beyond a 9 from doing anything. Finally, one last POW is placed on top of the launcher, which is used as the check that makes sure the user inputted the correct number. Each time you hit the block, the stack of items falls down by 1 block. The winged platform at the bottom is used to both confirm the number the user inputted, as well as to carry the POW to the other side of the section, which makes up the part of the level that checks to see if the player guessed all 8 digits correctly. In order to make sure the POW gets carried at the correct height, the winged platform travels diagonally at the specific Y position of the level, which represents the correct number. If the player guesses too low or high of a number, the platform misses the POW and leaves it on top of the bullet bill launcher. So, for example, this cell contains the value 7, and if the player hits the coin block 6 times, this happens. And if the player hits the coin block 8 times, this happens. And if the player hits the coin block exactly 7 times, the platform successfully carries the POW block. This level is made up of 16 of these cells, 8 in the first room and 8 in the second room. So how do you check to see if the player guessed all 8 digits correctly? Well, it's surprisingly quite simple. At the very end of the last cell, the platforms run into the side of the wall, dropping the POWs into a single column. When the on-off switch is activated via the note block confirmation, a bomb drops down and starts walking to the right. The Podoboo lights up the bomb so that it explodes shortly after. It can only pass over the hole and fall, which blows up the blocks below, if all 8 POWs make it to the end. If 0 to 7 POWs make it to the end, then the stack is not high enough to fill the gap, and the bomb falls down the left side, blowing up the brick block with the incorrect sound effect. This is also very important because it only tells the player if they get the code right or wrong. One of the hardest things I had to do to figure out when designing the combination lock was figuring out how not to give the player any additional information. For example, not letting the player know if they got only one specific digit wrong, or which one if any. This design allows the check to happen all at once, rather than on each individual cell. This is why I also chose to use the Night Ghost House theme, since it makes the player unable to see a vast majority of the screen. All these numbered checks also happen above the top half of the screen to prevent the player from trying to find information on the correct number by the setup. So why is it two 8-digit numbers? Why not just one 16-digit number? Well, just like in Super Mario Maker 1, Super Mario Maker 2 also has a block and sprite limit, and unfortunately, each cell takes up quite a bit of that limit, so the most I could use was 8 digits. I used a subworld because each world has a separate limit, which is why the setups in each section are identical. Unfortunately, there is also no easy way to make it a single 16-digit number through the two rooms. If I am able to find a more compact design in the future, then I will be more than happy to add more digits. So, are you going to tell anyone the code? No. The reason? I want to see what the first person that manages to guess the numbers correctly does. They can either tell everyone the code, or they can be mean and keep it to themselves. Unfortunately, as of this video's posting, someone managed to crack the code, but the level has not been beaten yet. Eventually, yes, I will tell people the code, but after enough time. So why did you make this level? With the release of Super Mario Maker 2, the game prevents people from being able to view levels in Editor, probably to avoid stealing levels from other creators. And because this is such a big part in making pseudo-impossible levels, I figured I might as well make them in the event that Nintendo does implement editing other people's levels. However, there is actually a way to view the levels in Editor already, but that requires hacking a console, which I do not condone. So theoretically, this method is still possible. But despite these methods, I still want to create as much BS as possible, just to see how long it takes before someone beats it, with or without cheating, preferably without cheating. It's one of the reasons why I decided to make this level now, instead of waiting till April Fools, when I usually do my trollier levels. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check the comments to see if I post a code. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe so I can feed my family. We out.